Yeah. But if she burns every bridge and she just gets slumped into just so much of like the attention seeking, starved LA woman that looks so desperado, it's not attractive. For the woman in Oklahoma or Iowa, she's not tuning into her.
No. And I mean, think of like the talk. I mean, that would be, you'd be lucky. You could do that for the next 15 years of your life. It doesn't really, you don't have to fight, you have an opinion, but I mean, that would be a cush job to go there every day and just sit around. And I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you get criticized all day, but she's already used to that.
Yeah. That I could see, if she really had an opinion about something, you know, trying to blow people up and the way she blew up Denise Richards and potentially could have ruined her marriage. Nobody likes that. That's the thing. Whether you think that Denise was wrong and she did it, that's a whole different subject. It's not Renna's place to blow that up.
No. And that's the thing. Like her argument is, I bring it all and I'm honest. And then another person's argument is like, this is a real friend. I mean, this is ruining a marriage because I don't think that Aaron knew at that point that this happened. And basically, you're outing your best friend or your good friend for cheating.
Well,
And
that's the perfect.
that's low. That's low.
Yeah, but that's the perfect example of how I always say to you, there really are no real friendships. I mean, if that was a friendship, a real friendship, and that's the way they do each other, yeah.
Hollywood, man, now that I split my
Right?
time and I'm there. I mean, I knew all this, but being on the ground there, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's no real friendships. What about this whole look? She was in Paris. She walked that runway, like you said, in Copenhagen. Like, did you see that article I just sent you before we went on air about like Vogue? I mean,
Yeah.
granted, there's article. I mean, there's ways to get articles written, but that is Lisa Rinna going to reinvent herself as a fashion icon? That was the title of it in like French Vogue. That's pretty major.
I don't, it's someone who loves the Housewives show, and the guy that who wrote it is a Housewives fan, and they have the ability to write an article, but it's not, no. No one's taking her serious in the fashion world. Sorry. No,
No, no.
no.
What? No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I guess I thought she moved on more than you did, but I see all of your points. I see all of your like. I mean, do you think we're gonna miss her? Like, what do you think next season? I mean, so rumor is everybody's coming back. I don't know about Kathy, but like you said, I think she'll be back because I do think she likes this. I think she enjoys
Mhm.
this. Everyone else is coming back. I mean, not Sheree Zampino, and not Diana, but everyone else, Crystal, Dorit. So what? And we'll bring in some new people. But like, what's going to happen next season? Like, do you think we're going to miss Rinna? Because there are people that are like, you all wanted this. Good luck.
I think that they can pull out another, maybe it's not going to be Renna, but they can pull somebody out of their little treasure trove of LA women and deliver again. And they can look for that formula. I'm sure they've brought someone in 6 times already and done some major digging to see what's available to turn this person upside down and inside out, for sure. And there's everyone in LA, once you get to that level, everyone knows everyone. Even if you don't know them, you know someone who knows them and you know something about them or something. At that level, LA is not a big city. And at that age, you know what I mean? I don't know the younger crowd. But that crowd, if they stick with that age and that crowd, yeah. They can find another person who's gonna deliver something.
You have heavy hitters like Crystal travels in a heavy hitting. There's rumors that one of her 14 friends that don't speak to her or something, one of them or something like
Sure,
that. And I mean, look at
sure.
all the people Kyle knows. I mean, yeah, they could bring in, yeah.
It is really truly limitless. Limitless.
The bottom
There's a
line.
there's a million women in LA that wanted an acting career and weren't quite good enough to get one, and married someone with money or made money on their own, who knows what, and are hungry for that break.
This was
I do think to some degree Rinna will be missed in regards to, I think that everyone's kind of used to her, but I think it could also be very refreshing for the viewers to see a completely different change of blood. I'll be curious to see how Erica holds in who she, if like her and Dorit are gonna, I'll be curious to see how she goes now that she doesn't have Rinna to do the
and they are just, I mean, and Diana, the three of them, but Rinna, and I mean, did you see that thing? Did I send you where Erica was coming out of maybe Walmart? I don't know where she was, Target, and they were following her and they're like, what do you think of Lisa Rinna? You know, she's like, she was the GOAT. She was the fucking GOAT. And they're like, how is the show? She's like, I don't know. She was like, huge loss, huge. Like these are two friends. I mean, I'm curious to see how Erica's gonna interact with Kathy.
She'll try to take her down. If she can find a compadre to like work with her, she'll try to take her down just based on her loyalty to Rinna, I think.
Well, I mean, Dorit's too scared to do that. Dorit is probably just like, I still have a job. Like, okay, I'm okay. I'm not going against Kathy because look how that ended up for this one.
No. You know, it's so funny, dude. When I was in India, the Housewives show airs in these, you know, foreign countries so late, right? And it just kind of goes on repeat or whatever. I don't know how they buy it, like the syndicate or whatever. But we were in Mumbai at the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel, and the lobby was kind of crowded. I felt like I saw a billion people on my own there. And this family comes up to me and they're like, Kathryn? And I was like, yes. And I'm thinking that I know them, like I've met them. And, you know, I'm just not used to that anyway. And I was like, yes. And they're like, oh, I loved you. And can I have a picture? And I'm like, and I said, did we meet at one of the weddings? Because I went to 2 weddings and I'm just trying to figure out how, so I don't put my foot in my mouth. Like, oh, did we meet at one of the weddings? And I'm so sorry. I'm tired. I'm just like, how do I know you? And they're like, oh, you don't know me. I know you from the Housewives. And I was like, oh, I was like, wow, that threw me for a loop. And so they started talking. They said, you seem so normal. Those women are so toxic. How could you do that show? And I watch it, but it's really bad. And why did you do that? Like they were trying to like understand, you know, was I a nice person? And
you're like, well, I ask myself every day how I did that. Like
I was like, oh, it's just, you know, it's a television show for entertainment. And I didn't even know what the hell to say. It took me for such a loop. Like, what the heck? But I mean, here I was kind of being lectured by the Namaste, you know, find your peace. They want to put a bindi on me and like center my chakras. Like, and I was, no.
And then were they like, wow, she really is nice?
I did say that. I said, I'm very nice, by the way.
You are nice.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. Like, I think by the end of every season, you're like, you forget. I mean, you start maybe the first episode, but in middle, you forget. And certainly by the end, you're like, oh, I mean, listen, we've watched New York. Yes,